For centuries we've been captivated by the story of Faust and his deal with the devil. It's this haunting classic tale. But what if the demon, Mephistopheles, isn't just some fiend with horns holding a contract? What if he's actually a reflection, a dark mirror showing us one of the most human struggles there is, that battle between the comfort of staying the same and the absolute terror of growth? We're about to trace the chilling evolution of this demon, from a simple tempter into a sophisticated phantom of our own mind. So, right off the bat, we have to ask the question that's at the heart of this whole thing. Is the devil an enemy we fight out there in the world? Or is he a shadow that's lurking deep inside us, a reflection of the parts of ourselves we don't even want to admit exist? As we dig into the story of Mephistopheles, I think you'll find the answer is much closer and, frankly, a lot more terrifying than any monster from hell. To really see this transformation, we have to look at the two very different faces of this demon. We're going to take a journey right into the corridors of the mind, using a psychological lens to see how this creature went from being this brutish agent of damnation to a cunning architect of the soul's most personal prison. Okay, so our journey starts in the deepest, most primal corner of our psyche. It's what Freud called the id. Just imagine it as this creature right at your core. It's that raw, hungry voice that just screams, I want it and I want it now, totally blind to any consequences, morality, or reality. It is pure, unfiltered impulse. And now, look at the original Mephistopheles from the old Faust book legend of 1587. This creature is the id brought to life. He doesn't whisper clever temptations. He's a blunt instrument of desire. He just serves Faust endless food, wine, carnal pleasures. He's this grotesque servant for every single fleeting, unthinking whim. Just a simple, horrifying enabler. But of course, there's a war going on inside us, and fighting against that primal beast is the ego. The ego is the cold negotiator, the calculating realist. It's the part that understands that raw desire has to be managed if you want to get by in the world. It schemes, it plans, it tries to build a bridge between your inner monster and the hard rules of reality. It's the strategist, working in the dark. And out of this internal conflict, a much more terrifying Mephistopheles emerges in Goethe's version. This is no simple beast. Oh no, this is a sharp, cynical intellectual, a demon who actually calls himself the spirit that always negates. He doesn't just serve desire, he preys on it with a sophisticated bet, becoming Faust's own twisted shadow ego, guiding him with his chilling logic through a very gray world. So here it is, the whole chilling transformation laid bare. The demon evolves from a primal enabler, basically a servant to the id, into an intellectual cynic, a twisted shadow ego. And his goal? It's not damnation through simple gluttony anymore. It's something way more sinister, to achieve damnation through logic, through cynicism, and through the ultimate horror of freezing the human spirit in a state of permanent stasis. And now we go deeper, because this intellectual demon, he becomes more than just a tempter. He becomes an architect, a meticulous builder of a prison, not made of stone and steel, but one designed to cage the soul itself. He now stands as the sentinel of resentment. He's this phantom born from our own past, and he exists for one single purpose: to stop our natural spirit of becoming. He's that chilling voice inside all of us that hates growth, that sees the chaos of change as some kind of fire that has to be put out with the ice of pure, cold logic. And in this new role, he is the corrupted architect. His unholy mission? To hoard the gold of stories, life's most brilliant moments, and to lock them away in these heavy, leaden boxes. He's totally convinced that by possessing a memory, by freezing a single moment in time, he can protect its truth from the relentless river of change. And the dark heart of his entire philosophy is what's called the spirit of gravity. It's this crushing force of cold rationalism that whispers in your ear. It pulls you down. It tells you that striving is for fools, that growing is a path to ruin, and that the only true safety is in being perfectly still, predictable, and forever obedient. And this architect's masterpiece, the ultimate weapon of the spirit of gravity, is the gilded cage. But he would never ever call it a prison, oh no. To a weary soul, he presents it as a sanctuary, a perfect, beautiful, golden haven. And just look at how beautifully the trap is sprung. It offers this false promise of absolute safety. It dismisses the need for risk as some childish fantasy. It takes the values of your past and forges them not into a foundation, but into this heavy armor you can never take off. Every single golden bar is a lie, designed to anchor your soul to the earth and just suffocate the messy, glorious, and terrifying freedom of actual growth. And right here, we find the tragedy at the core of this evil. It's not born from simple malice, but from a deep, profound terror of loss, a desperate, clawing need for permanence in a world that just never stops flowing. He really believes that if he can just own one perfect moment, he can stop the river of time itself. But his logic is a poisoned chalice, because you can't preserve a flame by starving it of air. This desperate hoarding of light and memory, it doesn't lead to salvation, it leads to spiritual entropy. A cold decay where every captured star, every stolen moment he locks away, inevitably just crumbles into dust. So, if this demon builds his prison inside the labyrinth of our own minds, how can we ever hope to escape? Well, the answer isn't in fighting shadows on the wall. It's in turning inward and realizing the battle has been raging inside us this whole time. And here is the parable's final, chilling twist, a concept called internal atavism. Mephistopheles, the sentinel, the architect, the demon, he's not some fiend from the abyss. He is an echo from within, a primitive ghost in our own machine, born from the terror of our own limitless potential and the darkness that's required to achieve it. Which, of course, brings us to the hardest question of all. If the enemy is a part of you, if the jailer is your own fear of change, how in the world can you possibly defeat it? You can't just wage war on your own soul. The answer isn't found in battle. You don't conquer this demon by waging war on it. You overcome it through integration, by acknowledging this darkness, understanding why it's there, and in a really strange and courageous act, embracing it as a part of you. This sacred process happens in 4 stages. It starts with terminal honesty, daring to look right in the mirror and own every single piece of who you are, especially the fearful parts that cling to resentment. Then you have to learn the grave dance, this defiant, joyful leap upon the suffocating seriousness of your own past. From that dance, you get to integration, absorbing that shadow not as an enemy, but as a part of a more complete self. And finally, transformation. The spirit of gravity just falls away, and you become a creator, light enough to dance on the very edge of the void you used to be so afraid of. In the end, the prison of Mephistopheles, that gilded cage we build for ourselves, isn't shattered by force. It's dissolved by motion. Victory isn't won in a war against our fear. It's found in the simple, profound, and endlessly courageous decision to just take one more step forward. It is won through the bold refusal to remain frozen,